Good morning, fourth grade. Today we're going to continue reading and Where the Mountain Meets the Moon. We're almost done with our first chapter book. But before we get started, we are going to complete our quick write that says, think about what you were like in third grade. How have you changed since then? Why do you think you have changed? Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the focus question. Today we want to know, what is the theme of the story of the Dragon Pearl? How does this theme apply to Ma's life? Okay, so we're thinking back to Ma today. Our vocabulary words are envy. That's when you feel discontent or resentful because someone has something that you want. And so we could draw a line to this picture because this little boy is envious of this little girl's ice cream cone. Once he saw her ice cream cone, he no longer wanted his popsicle because he wanted what she had. The next word is celestial. That is like having to do with heaven, the stars, the sky, outer space. That all refers to celestial. So you would draw a line to this picture. And then the last word is humble. That's when you lower yourself. A lot of times, like if you apologize to someone, that is being humble. It has to do with like admitting that what you did was wrong and that you're sorry. All right, turn the page. And today we are going to be reading chapter 40, the story of the Dragon's Pearl. And as we're reading, we're going to be using our CSPS strategy. Okay, so I'm on page 225. And like we said, the author has taken us back to Min Lee's home, and we are focusing on Ma. Okay, and so Ma and Ba are just like talking about how hard it is because Min Lee is not there. And Ba said, yes, we are like the dragon waiting for a sign of his pearl. And she's like, wait, what? And he's like, oh, it's a story. She's like, no, like, tell me the story. And so Ba tells her the story of the dragon's pearl. So we're at the bottom of page 225. It says, once a dragon found a large white stone, round and softened by the ocean and wind. As he admired it, it began to shine in his hands. How pretty, he thought. I will make this into a pearl. So day after day, month after month, for many years, the dragon went without eating and sleeping as he made the pearl. We'll stop right there because we have information about our character. The character in our story is a dragon. The character in our story is a dragon, and he has found a pearl. He's found a stone, and he is transforming it day after day into this beautiful pearl. And so in box 1A, we would write, a dragon found a large white stone and spent many years making it into a beautiful pearl. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the quote. And for the quote, we could write down this first sentence on page 226. How pretty, he thought. I will make this into a pearl. Press pause to write down the quote and play when you're ready to keep reading. All right, and so our setting, we don't know our setting yet. It does not take place in a specific location. We think he might be on Earth, but let's keep reading this page to try to figure out where he might be. So day after day, month after month, for many years, the dragon went without eating and sleeping as he made the pearl. He carved the stone with his claws and smoothed it with his scales. He carried it into the clouds, rolled it in fresh raindrops, bathed it in the celestial river. He polished it with pale chrysanthemum petals. Finally, it was done, perfectly round and luminously smooth. It was flawless and beautiful. As the dragon looked at it, a tear of exhaustion and joy fell from his eye and landed on the pearl. As the tears soaked into the pearl, it began to shine with a dazzling radiance. The dragon smiled with delight. Exhausted, he fell asleep in the light of the pearl. But the pearl continued to glow. The light was so lovely that it caught the attention of the Queen Mother of the Heavens. When she found out that the brightness came from the dragon's wondrous pearl, she sent 2 of her servants to steal it. The servants were able to accomplish this quite easily, as the dragon, weary of his many years of work, slept quite long and soundly. So if we stop right there, we have the problem. We're going to skip box 2 for right now and come back to it later. But right now we have the problem. In box 3A, we would write, Queen Mother of the Heavens saw the light of the dragon's pearl, and she sent her servants to steal it. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the quote. And for the quote, we can write down this sentence at the bottom of page 226. When she found out that the brightness came from the dragon's wondrous pearl, she sent 2 of her servants to steal it. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready to keep reading. Let's keep reading on page 227 to see how the dragon responds. When the Queen Mother received the pearl, even she was astonished by its loveliness. No pearl, no jewel, no treasure in the heavens or on earth can compare. She quickly had a vault made in the deepest part of her kingdom that one could only get to by going through 9 locked doors. She put the pearl in the chamber and tied the 9 keys to the doors onto her belt. When the dragon woke up and found his pearl missing, he began a frantic search. He hunted the oceans and mountains, the rivers and valleys. He flew through the celestial river, examining each star, but none gave the pure, clear light of his pearl. If we stop right there, we have a clue about the setting. We know that the story doesn't take place in a specific location, but it does take place somewhere on earth, because it says he searched the oceans and mountains, the river and valleys. So in 2A, we would write, the story does not take place in a specific location, but it does take place somewhere on earth. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the quote. And for the quote, we would write down this sentence on page 227. He hunted the oceans and mountains and rivers and valleys. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready to keep reading. We're still reading to find out the solution. Bottom of page 227. Eventually, the dragon was forced to give up his search. He had no idea where to look or where the pearl could be, but he did not give up hope that he would find it. Instead, he waited for a sign of it, and he did not wait in vain. On her birthday, the Queen Mother had a grand celebration. Turn the page. Inviting all the mortals to heaven. She held a banquet of peaches, an endless assortment of rich and delicious dishes made from the peaches of immortality. Fragrant and potent peach wine was served for each dish, and every time her glass was low, the Queen Mother called for more. But when the guests heralded her with compliments, flattery, and fine gifts, the Queen Mother recklessly decided to show off her stolen treasure. "My dear friends," she said impetuously, "your gifts and words are fine indeed, but I have something that far outshines them." And she took out her 9 keys, unlocked the 9 doors, and brought out the dragon's pearl. A hush went over the party as the pearl glowed with the light of such radiance that it flooded out the palace and into the heavens. As the light broke into the sky, the dragon, ever faithfully alert, jerked up his head. "My pearl," he said, and flew as fast as he could toward the light. When the dragon reached the Queen Mother's palace, he burst upon the crowd of admiring immortals, fawning over the pearl in the hand of Queen Mother, pompous with pride. "That is my pearl," he cried. "Give it back." The Queen Mother was infuriated. "This is my pearl," she declared. "How dare you?" "It is mine," the dragon said, and looking at the flush of her cheeks and evading eyes, demanded, "You stole it, didn't you?" "I did not steal anything," the Queen Mother blustered. "I am Queen Mother of the heavens. All treasures made by the earth or heaven belong to me." "Heaven did not make that pearl," the dragon said, "nor the earth. I made it with years of work and effort. It is mine." The Queen Mother began to panic, and she fled out of the palace and into the garden, clutching the pearl. The dragon pursued her, determined not to lose the pearl again. The party guests followed, creating such a commotion of excitement and chaos that the heavenly grandfather, who tended to avoid his daughter's flamboyant parties, decided to leave his study and investigate the disturbance. Turn the page. The Queen Mother, flustered and agitated, ran through the garden, leading a great chase. As she reached the garden wall and could not run any farther, she was horrified to see not only the dragon and her party guests, but also her father coming after her. As they reached her, in a fit of terror, she threw the pearl over the wall. The dragon gave a roar of dismay, and all rushed to look over the garden wall to see the pearl fall deep into the celestial river. In the deep blue water that separated heaven and earth, the pearl seemed to glow larger and glow more radiantly. The dragon began to make movements to dive into the river when the heavenly grandfather stopped him. "Leave it there," he said, "and shame on you both. The pearl should not belong to one being. Do you not see this is where the pearl belongs, where everyone on heaven and earth can see its beauty and enjoy it?" Both the dragon and Queen Mother humbled, nodded, and the guests praised the heavenly grandfather's wisdom. And so did the people on earth, for now when they looked up into the sky, the moon glowed down upon them. So the dragon's pearl became the moon in the night sky. For the solution, we would write down in box 4A, dragon went to the palace to get the pearl, but Queen Mother threw it into the celestial river. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the quote. And for the quote, we will write down this sentence in the middle of page 230. The dragon gave a roar of dismay, and all rushed to look over the garden wall to see the pearl fall deep into the celestial river. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the paragraph. And for the paragraph, we would write, it says, "What is the lesson of the story, The Dragon's Pearl? How do you know?" So you need to think about the grandfather's words at the bottom of page 230 to try to figure out what were the dragon and the Queen Mother supposed to learn from the story of the Dragon's Pearl. And then you can use the quotes from page 230 to support your answer.